What's up, kids? Chris here. Hope everyone's rocking today, Tuesday, August 4th. Let me get my phone up here as well so I can make sure I stay connected and can say hey to folks. Hope you're well. We got a bunch of questions today. I threw them up there in the comments. Not a bunch. They're kind of funny. Some of them are really funny. And let's hit them and do the best we can. So first up, and as always, if you're jumping in here, ask your questions about anything growth or strategy or anything agency related. We love running a very well-run, well-organized agency at my agency. I work less than 30 minutes a day on my agency, and we'll explain that in a second. One of those questions. What's up, Brennan? Good to see you, bud. And Michael, great to see you guys. So let's make sure we answer your questions for getting yourself up and running, efficient, getting your time under control, getting the profitability up, really crushing the income side of this while you're not letting that agency take over and ruin your life and take over the world that you've made. And Johnny, awesome to see you. Michael, how you doing, man? It's good. It's been a while, dude. It's great to see you too. Hope you're well. I'm doing super great. I'm super glad about summer and having kids around. We're having so much fun. School's starting back, and we'll be getting crazy and all that soon. I think we're homeschooling this year, which is really scary. But anyway, good to see you. Let's see. Veronica, awesome to see you. Glad you're here. All right, so first up, let's hammer some questions out here, and I'll take them as they're going here, and we will see what pops up here. So number one, let me just pop that up here. Why do you wear the same shirt? Stephen asks. Stephen, great question. And let's answer it. So this is not the same shirt every day, Stephen. You'll see that I wear a lot of this style shirt. Every now and then you'll see me in a t-shirt. I try to be a little bit professional for y'all. I know that's so silly, but still. So anyway, but here's what I do. I love these shirts. These are Arc'teryx brand shirt. Arc'teryx is an outdoor gear company. I'm a climber, like rock and ice climbing. Arc'teryx makes people for that are really long and thin, like me, and I have lots of Arc'teryx clothing because it fits so well. They're stretchy, they're breathable, it's simple. I have lots of this knit shirt. It's kind of a synthetic knit, um, and it makes it easy for me. So I just walk in the closet and pick one out. That's really embarrassing, but there you go, Stephen. That's the answer to your question. It makes it easy, and I don't have to think about my life too much that way, right? Okay, let's go to the next question. Thanks for asking, Stephen. I hope your fears of me not washing my clothes are settled now. All right, so next question up, number two here. Let me just see if I can pop this in the chat here. This one's kind of fun. So, Andrea, yeah. What does your day slash week schedule look like? Good question. So, because I work so little, my schedule's a little bit out there and odd, but anybody can do this. It's very, very doable. So, my schedule from an agency standpoint, let me just explain what my agency does. We run a surgery agency. We grow surgery groups in unique communities around the country. So, we take subspecialty surgeons, that's our niche, and we've gone through, I don't know, a dozen or so niches over the years. It works the same way in every one. I just love the business model, so I love playing with them. And right now we're working with subspecialty surgeons in unique communities around the country, and we grow their agencies for them. A lot of marketing, a lot of video, content creation, a lot of storytelling, communicating to their clients, their patients, the community around them. Normal stuff. Y'all do that stuff. So I work about 30 minutes a day or less in that agency, and it scales itself, it grows itself, and the reason that is because we're so good at systems and the people processes and our profitability measures. So my day looks a lot like I wake up, I go work out or go run, get blue to the park, go to the Y with a friend, and then I come in and I typically take my time, kind of getting my day going. It's 10 o'clock now Central where I am, so I've been hanging out with Jill, my wife, for about an hour, grabbing something to drink like a cup of tea or coffee in the kitchen, just hanging out, catching up. And then jump in here, do a little Q&A for you guys often a lot of days around this time. And then typically one or two of my key staff members is online by the time I wrap this up, and they give me any updates I need. We make any decisions we need to about the agency, about the clients, and then we move on. And that is the end of my workday from an agency standpoint. This afternoon's a little bit of an anomaly. I have a meeting at 4 o'clock with one of our clients that's in a very different time zone, a surgeon, and that'll last about 20, 30 minutes. So that literally is my workday for my agency. And that's simply because we've really ironed out our processes and we've really ironed out our staff that can run that, and we got our profit margins to a point very intentionally where we can do that and have that kind of freedom. And that's how it looks year round for me. And I can take multiple weeks off at a time. We take long vacations in the summer. That's how that works. I also, just to be fully transparent here on my schedule, I also teach a lot. I love teaching this kind of stuff, and I teach other digital agency owners. We have a mastermind, and we create a lot of content for this and for that group. And so there's probably 4 to 6 hours a week total in content creation or teaching or Q&A that happens in my calendar. And that's super important to note because a lot of you are building brands, and as you're building, you're needing to generate content, right? You're getting content, you're building a group, you're teaching somewhere, you're leading your own community, you're doing podcasting, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you hang out and attract clients and do content work, it takes time. So 4 to 6 hours a week, that includes all of our mastermind training, teaching, the Q&A, the content creation for that. And we run 2 groups at a time there, an entry-level group, that's what we call our 12-week fast track, and then a roundtable group, which is our advanced group. So there's actually 2 different groups of training. And so there's reviewing slides, some stuff we've done in the past, and also creating new stuff. That's all in 4 to 6 hours a week total. So literally not even a full work day on that. And that's literally it. That's it. That leaves me a lot of time to be super strategic and play and go paddleboarding or skateboarding or out with the dog or with the kids and just do things, ride a bike. Because it's funny, that time, that free time that's so prevalent and so available in my life gives me a lot of strategy time. And I know that I'm way more productive and profitable because of the free time. Usually, particularly here in the West, meaning Western world, we think, and depending on where you're in the world, we think that working more in the hustle is what makes us money. But it's just quite frankly not. That's a really backwards way to look at it. The free space and the strategy time in your head is actually where you get more profitable. Hope that answers your question, Andrea. Okay, awesome. Anybody else got questions? Fire them away. I love doing this. This is really fun. And these questions come in for us through private messages. They also come in depending on when you send them in. If you pop them up in a group and I've already logged out or something like that, I try to catch them the next day or so to make sure I don't leave anybody hanging. So here's the next question. Next one up from Kelly. Kelly, should I focus on saving money or making money? Saving money takes so much valuable time. There was actually a little more to this question, and it was around coupons or like tax-free weekend that just happened here in the States for going back to school. There's lots of ways you can shop and save money and try to be as efficient as possible with your dollar. But yes, Kelly, it takes time. So here's how I do this. And I got this from Tim Ferriss, the 4-Hour Workweek guy. Great concept in the 4-Hour Workweek book, actually, that I've lived by for the past 6-7 years. I don't take a lot of time making decisions to save money. So if I'm looking for instance, if I'm looking for, like, let's say, for instance, here's an example. Let me just look right here in the studio. This is a new computer from Amazon somewhere, blah, 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 because we're homeschooling our kids this year because of all the COVID stuff. It took me, I don't know, maybe less than 5 minutes to buy several computers and have them shipped to us, simply because it's just not worth the time to go and do a ton of research for me. I'm not a computer guy, and quite frankly, they're going to be on Chrome. They're going to be doing basic stuff on, video sharing, and tutors and simple stuff. It's not, I don't need this awesome professional computer. So I just jumped on Amazon. This is a good example of how I save money and how not to waste time doing it. I do this with almost every purchase we make. This is going to sound crazy, but including cars. All the way up. I try to spend 10 minutes or less making really big decisions that are financially oriented, and I go off of reviews. There's so many reviews out there now, so when I'm looking for, say, a computer, I'm looking for a computer. These things are, what are they, 300 to 500 bucks, these little Chromebook things. They're not that big a deal. I just pull it up on Amazon, type in what I want, sort by number of reviews, and I pick the top 2 or 3 reviews, and I click buy. That's it. Because inevitably, and the research shows this across the board for so many people, we're going to do the homework, you're going to spend 10 hours reviewing, and you're going to make the same decision anyway. The reviews show us what we're doing. So now it's so easy to make decisions quickly. So saving money for me, I'm not a coupon clipper. I've never have been. Even when we were really tight financially, I learned quickly that focusing on making money versus focusing on saving money was the way to go. You might save. Let's just make a big expense happen. Let's say, for instance, Jill just got a Suburban recently. Her old Suburban died. We run these things into the ground. We're on our 3rd Suburban. We have 5 kids. So she just got a new Suburban. But making a decision on a Suburban really is a color choice and color of leather choice, right? Even on a big ticket item like that, where you could save potentially $5,000, let's say, if you really did your homework. But you're going to spend days doing homework, maybe even weeks, lots of weekends, nights, lots of research, going around haggling at car lots, jumping online, doing tons of searches. That time, if you're going to spend that kind of time banging your head on a computer or at a car lot, you may as well be making money. Tyler, what's up? Great to see you. So focus on the money making activity, not on the money saving activity. Okay. Same when it comes to staffing and finding the right person. A dollar or two here or there on staffing cost isn't the big deal. All right. The big deal is putting them to work in a really productive way that engages them, their heads, their hearts, and lets them work. That's more important. So focus on the money making, not on the money saving. That is absolutely the way to go. If you're super, super tight, and Kelly, I don't know your financial situation, but it's a great question. It comes up frequently. If you're super, super tight, then you may need to just cut back and not make some spending decisions. Like, for instance, if you can just delay an expense, we want a new chair in our living room, or we want a new toy in our garage, and you can just delay it by 6 months, do it if you're feeling tight. But going around and around and spending hours researching something so you can save, a couple $100 or a couple $1,000, you'll be able to make more money in the amount of time it took you to save that money. So that's my advice on that. Super good question. Very good question, Kelly. Hope that helps. Reach out if that does not help, because that's one that's real and money matters. And I want to make sure that we tackle that money stuff, because those kind of expense questions really do come into play. All right, let me pop up my last question that I have on my list today. And again, as always, feel free to ask questions as we're going. I'm not trying to buzz these too fast. I've got plenty of time. So Nicole says, oh, let me just not put a last name on here, because I'm not sure that's what we want to do. I by the way, when y'all ask questions, I don't put your last names up here. Y'all can keep yourselves private on your own terms. Okay, let me just make sure. There we go. It keeps wanting to put a name in here. It's not Nicole's name anyway. I just want to post the comment. There we go. Okay. So is your soundboard, okay, yeah. Is your soundboard background real or fake? Super good question. So, yeah, this question comes up all the time. So this is, if you can still hear me, this is real. I have a production studio, sound studio in my house. I used to do more recording than I do now. Obviously, we record a lot for the content we create, so it's been really handy. But I don't podcast or anything. I mean, I get to speak on people's podcasts, but I don't create our own podcast anymore. But yes, this is just a wrap around in this room on hanging on big panels of sound absorbing, sound diffusion stuff. This is, I think, 4-inch thick little pyramids. They're 4 inches deep, and then there's another inch or two of foam stuff behind there. We had those put together. It's really, really easy to do. So this board behind me is probably 8 feet by 7 feet, and it's actually hung on the wall, and we have multiple boards like that around the studio that absorb a lot of sound. And then right behind the screen that I'm looking at is another one of those big walls. What's up, Remo? Good to see you, man. And that absorbs a lot of sound. And you didn't ask a sound question, you asked a visual question, but it's real. I don't do green screens. I think they're super fun, but I don't do them. I'm just not that techie. I got a microphone hanging up above me, the normal basic light setup. I could walk you through the studio setup another day. That's a good question too, I guess. But anyway, the soundboard is real. Not a green screen guy. That's just foam. I think you can get this stuff from, if I can remember, I think it's the Foam Factory. This is a while ago, but somebody else asked this question recently in our mastermind, and I looked it up. I think it's called thefoamfactory.com. The Foam, F-O-A-M, factory.com. They sell every kind of foam imaginable. If you want to redo the upholstery in a chair, they sell that, but they also sell a lot of acoustic foam, and you can get it in huge quantities. So I think when we had this done, I remember placing an order there, and I looked it up for somebody recently, and that's where it was. It comes all rolled up and squished, and it's super easy to find. Anyway, that's the question and the answer there. So hope that helps, guys. Super good questions, especially about the shirt and the foam. Love those. But the real agency-oriented questions in there, too. Hope that helps you guys as well. Be efficient. Be strong out there. Make the choices. The reason I don't have to work that much is not because I'm just uniquely gifted at making money. I promise it's not that. There's no get rich quick to this. It's just lots of hard work. And the more we focused on processes and getting people in place who are really good and spending the time to train our team and then spending the time to build processes that replicate our work, even though we do a lot of custom work in our agency, we still replicate a lot of how that work is thought about and produced. And then we really focus in on niching down into a market that's able to afford more and more and more of our services at a higher and higher profit margin. That formula right there, and there's a lot in each of those areas, but that formula right there really does work. That's what allows us to do what we do. It has nothing to do with running an amazing funnel or getting so much ads going or just crushing it on this special Facebook strategy or something like that. That's not it. Those are ways to communicate, but the real efficiency and the real time freedom and the real money freedom comes from being super hyper focused and diligent on your processes, on managing your time and your calendar, and making the hard choices to choose to do what only you can do best and to let someone else do the rest, and taking the time to actually train those people that are helping you and give them structure and processes to follow. That's how it works. So I hope that's encouraging you guys. I wish I could say, like a lot of ads we see on Facebook or else, I wish I could say that there was a get rich quick way to do it. And there's some simple methods we follow, and we love talking about those, but it just comes down to, can you execute and are you willing to do the hard work? So lean in, ask questions. I'm always willing to help. We do this every couple of days, and the schedule is down below or in the event section over to the side. You can see our upcoming schedule. I think we got a schedule up through this week, and we'll post next week coming up here as well. Anyway, always great to see everybody. Danny, what's up? Great to see you too. If you have any questions, reach out. As always, have a great Tuesday, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.